out there today for you?
It was great, just went out there, got a lot of mental reps. It's just nice to, be back in Seattle. Took one of my visits up here, enjoyed it, loved it. The coaching staff and the program, they're all on top of the stuff. I'm just trying to be the student of the game right now. So just getting real dive into the playbook and, just taking as many mental reps as I need.
How will they kind of ramp you up, I guess, and getting on the field and everything?
Yeah, I kind of just leave that up to the coaches. From my standpoint, it's no rush right now, but I'm still working towards it. I'm feeling good where I'm at right now. We're on great progress, and as I said, I'm just taking as many mental reps as I need, and still going gain speed mentally. So I'm still progressing and getting ready.
Tory, most people are saying you're one of the best picks in the draft going in the 5th round. Does that feel good, or do you feel like, man, why wasn't I taken higher?
Yeah, it's a little bit of motivation knowing where I got picked, but God have His plans, and he know that one of my teams that was top on my list was Seattle, so all worked out in my favor. It's congrats to all the guys that went before me, but me mentally, I just feel like I could compete with majority of those guys that went before, and I feel like that I am one of the best in that draft. So at the end of the day, it's just motivation, and I just got to keep working.
You've obviously been running, you've been doing sprints for a while, but what are those next steps for you as far as getting back to the field, and where you can have your comfort level to be able to get back on the field and partake in scrimmages and drill work?
Yeah, as I said, it's kind of up to the coaches and the training staff. They being smart, just kind of just ramping up that that load of in and out of cuts and things like that. I just feel like it's a mental standpoint, just feeling comfortable again. And as I said, I'm on a great curve right now, progressing, and I feel good on where I'm at. So just keep building.
Is there motivation in that now that you're taking cuts and you're out here? Does that give you motivation?
Oh yeah, that's giving me a whole lot of motivation. Just being able to get out and just run a couple cuts here and there. I feel like that's always a great step to the achieving the next goal. And the best way to go out there is being available. So just taking care of myself, making sure I stay on top of my my health, and just being in that mental state of letting this time do what it's got to do, but still stay on top of my work so I can be ready for season.
You're similar size, weight, speed, jumping ability to another Tory Holt. Has anyone ever compared you to him, or is there a receiver that you've been compared to before?
Yeah, I've heard that a few times, and that's one hell of a player. He is a great player, and I kind of actually went back and watched some of his highlights just because there's quite a bit of people who said I was similar to Tory Holt, and I was like, what a coincidence. Me and him kind of got the same first name, but it's just something that I kind of look at, and I just try to see even vets here and just some of those guys that play before me, what I could take from their game, kind of install it in mine and just keep getting better.
Are you excited for the chance to maybe return punts?
Yeah, started doing punt return, I would say my junior year of college. It was a little new, but, with my baseball history, I kind of, got the tracking the ball down. So, I'm excited to get back there, return some punts and, whatever I could do to, help the team win and, help the team achieve that goal. That's what I want to do. I want to be that team player that, everybody, is trying to be. So.
Were you an outfielder when you played baseball?
Yeah, I was center field. I still got a little bit of pitching in me too. So, some of them guys trying to line up, we could go on that diamond. But yeah, center field.
You mentioned the punt returning aspect, but how do you see that outfield experience play into going after the football, tracking the football, and all the things that you're required to do as a receiver?
Yeah, so just like baseball, you kind of reading that ball off of the bat. From that punt return standpoint, you're trying to just read that ball off the foot. From a receiver standpoint, it's just that ball in the air. You kind of know. I've been playing baseball so long. In football, you kind of just got a feel for where the ball's landing, and so you kind of just got that slight adjustment. Even if it's a big adjustment, to track that football down and give yourself the best opportunity to make the catch. So, and I feel like it kind of translates a little easier for me just because I've been doing it my whole life.
A lot of people are celebrating this draft class. What did you think of some of the guys that are coming in with you as a rookie?
Oh man, it's great. You know, I feel like we got a great draft class. You know, everybody came here. You know, we ready to compete, ready to work, and I feel like we do got one of the best draft classes in this year's draft. And you know, as soon as I got in, I talked with Greg Zabel. Me and him worked out together, and you know, he kind of had a feeling about going to Seattle, and I told him the same thing. And it's you know, we were just like, what a coincidence. You know, just random people training together to now we locked in teammates, and you know, it just feel great. Yeah, all the guys here is excited. You can tell they love the area. They love the program, the coaches, and facilities. So you know, we ready just to keep getting at it, getting active, getting ready to go win some games.
Was baseball your first love, or what was your athletic background?
Yeah, I'd probably say baseball was one of my first sports I started. I had a bit of a football family, so football was kind of something that took over, and I always enjoyed. To this day, my emails start with baseball. Can't tell y'all the whole thing, but it started with baseball. So when I say the email, people was like, "What?" So it's like it's something that my sister made for me, and I just never changed it. So it's always stuck with me.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate you.
Tory.